On this new moon, the sun goes dark in the middle of the day, not a metaphor. The moon will walk directly across the face of the sun, and for those standing in its shadow, day becomes night, stars visible at noon. A continent that has waited 27 years for this will stand still and look up. Millions of people will see this eclipse with their own eyes. It is being called the sky event of the decade, and for the watchers on the ground, it is. But the story of this eclipse is not where its shadow falls. The story is what the sky has placed beside it, because this darkness does not arrive alone. It arrives at the side of a star the old sky watchers guarded above almost every other, and nobody is telling you that part. Stay with us. By the end of this video, you will know which house of your own chart this eclipse is speaking to, what it is asking of an entire generation, and why the ancients would have called this the eclipse of the lion's heart. Here is the sky, plainly. On the 12th, the moon and the sun meet at 20 degrees of Leo, a new moon. But this new moon happens directly on the moon's crossing point, the place where her path cuts the sun's road. And so the moon does not simply pass the sun, she covers him completely, a total eclipse of the sun in the sign of the lion. The old astrologers gave that crossing point a name. They called it the dragon. Its head where the moon rises across the sun's path, its tail where she descends. And at this eclipse, the dragon's tail is not resting in empty sky. It is resting on a star. Regulus, the heart of the lion, the brightest star in the constellation Leo, and one of the 4 royal stars of ancient Persia. The stars, the first sky watchers set at the 4 quarters of heaven and called the Watchers. Regulus was the watcher of the north, the star of kings, of courage crowned, and of the fall that comes when power forgets its heart. 4 royal stars, 4 watchers holding the 4 corners of the old sky. And in this single month, eclipses will touch 2 of them. That has a weight to it that no all signs forecast will tell you. Because to see it, you have to look past the planets into the layer of the sky that does not move. We measured it at our own desk this week on the modern reckoning of the dragon's tail. At the moment of totality, the tail stands less than half a degree from Regulus, half a degree on a wheel of 360. The older reckoning places it even closer, a handful of arc minutes on the star's other side. Whichever school you follow, the reading is the same. The dragon's tail is on the heart of the lion as the sun goes dark. And the dragon's tail is always the place of release. Where the head takes in, the tail lets go. So hold the whole image now, a total eclipse, an ending and a beginning folded into one darkness, in the sign of the lion, while the point of release rests on the star of kings. The sky is describing a laying down. Something regal in us, pride, performance, an old way of shining is being asked to set its crown down so that something truer can be crowned in its place. That is the seed of this eclipse, and we will carry it into every house of your chart before we finish. But first, there is a generation watching this video for whom this eclipse is not general at all. It is personal to the degree. For nearly 20 years of the last century, from 1939 to 1958, the slowest, deepest planet we work with moved through Leo. Pluto, the power of transformation itself, the underworld engine of death and rebirth. An entire generation was born carrying Pluto in the sign of the lion. This is the generation that transformed what it means to be an individual. They rebuilt self-expression from the ground up. Music, image, voice, the very idea that an ordinary life could be lived out loud. Wherever they walked, the question walked with them: what is real power and who holds it? Now watch what this eclipse does. 20 degrees of Leo is not just any degree for these souls. If you were born in the early 1950s, your natal Pluto stands at or beside that exact degree. For those born in 1952 and 53, this total eclipse lands on your Pluto almost to the arc minute. For the years either side, from the late 40s through the mid-50s, it stands within a few degrees, close enough to knock. A dark sun crossing your natal Pluto is one of the great punctuation marks a life receives. It does not announce catastrophe. Let us say that clearly, because eclipse fear sells, and we will not sell it. What it announces is a reckoning with power. Where have you been carrying force that was never yours to carry? Where have you kept yourself small to keep the peace? What in the deepest engine room of you is ready to be transformed one more time? And there is a generosity hidden in it. The Pluto in Leo generation has spent a lifetime learning what power costs. This eclipse, touching the whole generation's Pluto through a single point, looks like an invitation to hand the deepest lesson on. Not to step back from life, but to step into the elder's kind of shining, power held lightly, at last, in an open hand. If that is you or someone you love, watch what surfaces around this eclipse. The 6 months that follow it will tell you exactly what wants to be released and exactly what wants to be crowned. Now we make this yours, and we are going to do it properly. This eclipse happens at one exact point, 20 degrees of Leo, not a whole sign, a single degree, and that point falls into one specific house of your birth chart, one room of your life. That house is where this eclipse is speaking to you personally. Finding it takes 1 minute. Put your birth details into our free calculator. It is linked directly below this video, and look for where 20 degrees of Leo falls. Whichever house holds that degree is your eclipse house. Then come back and walk to your door. Here are all 12. The first house. The eclipse lands on the room of the self, your body, your face, the way you arrive. Something about the identity you have been performing goes dark so the one underneath can be seen. Let the old introduction end. Over the next 6 months, notice who you are when you stop explaining yourself. The second house, the room of worth and resource, what you own, what you earn, and what you believe you deserve. An old measure of your value is eclipsed here. Watch money, yes, but watch the deeper ledger where you have been underpricing your own light. The third house, the room of voice, of words, of the daily mind, a way of speaking or staying silent, reaches its ending. If there is a conversation you have rehearsed for years and never had, this eclipse may open the door to it. Say the true thing gently. The fourth house, the room of home, family, and the taproot. The eclipse reaches into your foundations, where you come from, where you belong, what home must become next. Something in the family story is ready to be set down. You are allowed to be the one who sets it down. The fifth house, and note this well, this is the eclipse in the lion's own room. Creation, romance, children, play, the unrepeatable art of being yourself in public. Whatever has kept your joy waiting loses its authority now. The question of the next 6 months is simple and enormous. What would you make if you knew the making itself was the point? The sixth house, the room of work, health, and the daily round. A routine that has quietly been costing more than it gives goes dark. Listen to the body. It has been keeping minutes of every meeting you ignored. Rebuild the day so that it serves the life, not the other way around. The seventh house, the room of partnership. Marriage, business, the mirror of the other. An old contract, spoken or unspoken, reaches its ending here. Some bonds deepen when the fine print is finally read aloud, others complete. Either way, the relationship you build after this eclipse is built on truer ground. The eighth house, the room of the depths, shared resources, intimacy, death and rebirth, everything we would rather not say at dinner. This is Pluto's own room, and the eclipse turns its light off so your night vision can begin. What is entangled unwinds. What was buried asks for burial rites or resurrection. Go down with a lantern, come up lighter. The ninth house, the room of the far horizon. Belief, philosophy, teaching, the journeys that change you. A worldview you inherited rather than chose is eclipsed. If a faith or a plan has been feeling like borrowed clothes, the next 6 months will tailor or retire it. Truth you have tested yourself is the only luggage this road allows. The 10th house, the room of calling and reputation, the mountaintop where the world sees you. And remember what this eclipse carries in its hand: the star of kings and a crown being set down. A role, a title, a public self completes here, so a truer authority can begin. The work you were named for is not always the work you were born for. Now you get to find out. The 11th house, the room of friendship, community, and the future you are building with others. The eclipse asks, which circles feed your light and which ones dim it to keep the group comfortable? An old belonging may complete. The friends of your next chapter recognize the self this eclipse reveals. Let them find you. And the 12th house, the room behind the rooms, solitude, dreams, the unconscious, the unfinished business of the soul. An eclipse here works out of sight. Do not be surprised if its gifts arrive as dreams, as tears with no obvious address, as an old grief finally growing light. Rest is not retreat this season. It is where your work is happening. 12 rooms, 1 point of darkness, 1 question each. Whichever house is yours, write the question down. Eclipses do not answer in a day. They answer across 6 months, and the ones who receive the most from this one will be the ones who kept watching. Through this eclipse season, our desk is composing personal readings. Your own chart, read 1 chart at a time for the 2 great events of this month. If you would like this eclipse read through your own sky, the doorway is beneath this video. And remember, this watcher is only the first. 16 days after the sun goes dark on the heart of the lion, the moon herself is eclipsed, standing on Fomalhaut, the watcher of the south, the star of the deep waters. 2 eclipses, 2 royal stars, 1 season held between 2 watchers. In our next videos, we walk the road between them, the first voices after the dark sun, and then the second watcher itself. Subscribe to our channel now because eclipse season moves quickly, and the readings you will want are the ones in your hands before the sky turns, not after. The ancients set 4 stars to watch the corners of heaven, and named the brightest of them the heart of the lion, not the crown, not the claw, the heart, because they knew what this eclipse has come to remind us. When everything else about the lion goes dark, the mane, the roar, the throne, the heart is the light that remains. The lighthouse keeps its watch tonight beneath that star. Let the crown go dark, keep the heart lit.